Welcome to Bones to Beards podcast with Brian and Chad and co-host Drew Giles, where we dive headfirst into the world of hunting and fishing with a healthy dose of humor and humility. Well, on our last episode, we talked a lot about flounder fishing, and Chad, we finally got Drew.
We did.
To take us fishing.
We did. We definitely did.
We went on 2 trips.
Yeah,
we did.
We sure did.
Yeah.
We went for quality
And quantity.
then we went for quantity.
Yep.
So we appreciate that. I mean,
Yes, sir.
it was a great time. We caught a lot of fish. Tell us about your experience.
Oh man. So we go Monday, get some quality fish, some nice slabs that we ate good Monday night. Wednesday morning, we're heading to Mississippi. We get loaded up, put the rods in the boat. We start heading over there. We get to the state line. Drew goes, "Hey, I don't see y'all's rods in the boat. Y'all got them?" "Yeah, we put them in there." He goes, "Well, how'd you put them in there?" "I don't know. I just laid them in the bottom of the boat like the other ones were." He said, "Oh no, they fly out if they're not the right way." So
And you said, "Well, I laid mine exactly the way Brian put his."
that's what I said.
So I said, "Brian, how'd you lay yours?" He said, "Butt in towards the bow." I said, "That's perfect."
Right. So
But absolutely, Chad.
apparently
You,
I
you
did
didn't
not.
do. You didn't do that.
Chad did not lay his
So-
butt into the bow.
So we pull over at the rest area as soon as you get in the state. And we get out. Drew's first one gets back there. Says, "Oh, they're good. They're good." I hop back in the truck. Don't think nothing of it. Get back in.
No. That ain't how that happened.
No.
We told you, they're gone.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm getting there. So I get back in the truck thinking nothing. Well, I noticed him and Brian are sitting back there talking. And I'm like, what the heck are they doing?
Oh, did I just see your rods and said
Yeah,
they're good?
yeah. You saw just his and said, "Oh, they're good." So I thought you saw all of them and they were all good. So that's why I got back in the truck. Well, they get back to the truck and Brian goes, "Chad, your poles aren't there. Are you sure you put them in there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I put them in there. They're definitely in there." He's like, "They're not in there now." I was like, "Oh, you're pulling my leg. Drew's already said they're in there." He goes, "No." Then Drew comes back and he's like, "Chad, your poles are gone." I'm like, "Y'all are pulling my leg. Y'all trying to get me worked up, yada, yada." So I'm blowing it off. I'm like, whatever. We get to the boat launch. We're back in the boat into the water and I go, "Look over, my poles aren't there." I was like, "Guys, what y'all doing with my poles?" They're like, "We told you they flew out." I'm like, come on.
And the look on his face, because he thought we were.
He thought we were
I
joking.
thought they were
he's like,
joking with me.
I was like, and finally he's like, it's just money. And I'm like,
That's what he would say. That's what he was saying in the truck.
truck, yeah.
Oh, it's just money.
No,
I mean,
this dude's
you
acting a
can't
lot
get with-
different.
But-
I'd be ticked off. Like, this dude's taking it pretty good. When we get to the launch and realize he really thought we were joking.
Well, at that point, there was nothing you could do. So, but
And when you first said that, I hope y'all put y'all's rod and reels, the right direction. I'm thinking, if my rod and reel is gone, I said, I got one. And I, after we had gone flounder fishing that first day, and I'm like, I got to go back and use, a bait caster like I was doing for
Right, bass fishing.
bass fishing. It felt so much, I said, we're like doing a lot of flipping,
Right.
going underhanded, overhanded, sideways. And everything. I'd rather have my bait caster.
It's a lot.
Right.
of
So I
bass
go
fishing.
out to my shed and I said, I'm going to get my bait caster and I'm going to take that with us when we go to Mississippi. Lord, I was embarrassed when I got it. So I went out in the yard and I said, what if this thing still works? And this old Ava Garcia, and that thing has got, it might be older than y'all too. I don't know. But I fished that thing for a lot of tournaments and everything. And I'm slinging that thing around and that thing just, when I do it, and it just sounds like the bearings in it are just totally, and after probably about 30 something years, they probably are.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not getting on Drew's boat. When we go to Mississippi, this thing, they're going to laugh at me. I said, so I'm going to go get me another one. So I went and got another one. And I'm thinking, when you said that, I said, I just bought this
I'm
thing.
brand new, gonna be on the side
And
of the interstate.
it's on the interstate somewhere. And I'm like, I'm kind of sweating,
I hope
I'm
somebody-
not like Chad. It's just money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just money I just spent.
There ain't nothing you do about it.
Yeah.
Ain't no reason to get worked up.
Yeah, but when we were at the boat launch, you had a worked up looking face. I know that.
Well,
Maybe that's why we caught more fish than he did that day. He wasn't fishing with his own poles.
correct.
Yeah.
He had an
Correct.
excuse.
He tried to blame it on using mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cheap. I can't say what I want to say. piece of
Hey,
crap.
we caught a lot of fish though.
We
No, me
did.
and Brian caught a lot of fish.
I finally caught him.
He actually caught the first one.
Yeah, he did.
He
I
caught
did
the
He
catch-
did
first one.
catch the first one.
I did.
And like I had so many that first day that we were fishing for quality, and I had so many. I had some bad line on that one reel, and I was like,
Y'all traded out days. What bad days?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a bad day the first day, and my line kept breaking every time.
But I caught several towards
No,
the
you
end.
you caught a lot of fish. I don't give you any hard.
Yeah, I know. I got to make sure these guys know that are listening. Like I did catch.
But man, I mean,
But this is what I do want to say. If somebody found those poles, I hope you enjoy them
Yeah.
because they are good poles. They're not Walmart specials.
Have you replaced them yet?
Not really.
No, I'm still telling you, I got two at the house, brand new. Still got the wrappers on them.
yeah, because he was raising cane. We were fishing the other day, and he was. I think it was your dad.
Yeah,
riding
using
reel.
my dad's riding reel, and I was
the
like,
handle's on the wrong side to start with. So that's a problem. He
Right.
finally changes that over. And I don't know what kind of line he's got on there, but it is bird nest after bird
Yes.
nest after bird nest. And I'm like, dang, is he going to fish today? I mean, I'm over there fishing with my nice new bait caster and it's going well. And I'm like, man, he's not going to fish.
it's frustrating.
Well, we caught, what I learned about that, you know, I've caught flounder before, but it's been a long time. And that was actually, I thought that I could catch flounder just by fishing for specks and reds, but it was.
You
I
can't.
found out it was just totally different. The way I'm working it and how I'm pitching to the bank, back to the boat,
Right.
just totally different. You know, I hadn't done a lot of true flounder fishing with a
Man,
rod and reel.
I really try to tell people it is so much like bass fishing.
Yeah, it's
Like,
totally.
When guys come down from, that's more inland and they're not used to fishing saltwater, they tell me they're bass fishermen. Like, hey, let's just go catch flounder.
Right.
It's like if you're used to bass fishing, you've got a bait you're comfortable with a bait caster. Let's go fish flounder.
Right.
It was so much easier that second day using that bait caster because I could, you know, with that spinning reel. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, when I'm fishing for specks and reds, I love that spinning reel. But when I'm doing flounder,
And I'm a lot more accurate with my bait caster.
me too. You know, because you know, when you bass fishing, you used to get out in the yard and you used to practice flipping that thing into the cup and do all that
Right.
type stuff. And I felt a lot better. I can put that thing where I want to. you
For
know.
sure.
Right.
So it felt a whole lot better. But
It's kind of crazy how he was catching them that day too. Like up on the rocks, just like
Oh, yeah.
sit there.
We caught so many fish in that one small section.
We didn't move that.
we hardly moved it.
Hardly moved.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have any more jig heads.
Yeah.
I was totally out of plastics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we went through everything.
Yeah, that's part of the game though. When you're fishing structure, you're gonna run through some tackle.
Oh, we went through some tackle. That whole week we went through some tackle.
We did.
Because we had fished before we went fishing with you, then after, and it was just like, I told him last week we're trying to go fishing again. He goes, "We gonna go fishing?" I said, "Man, I got to get to the store. I have no tackle left."
Right.
I mean, I don't have anything left. Well, the fish, you know, that we caught the first day we went for quality. They're a lot bigger fish.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. The second day we
There's
had
more eaters.
more eaters. Okay. We you know, in Mississippi the
It's
minimum-
12
minimum
inches.
is 12 inches compared to Alabama. And so we could keep more fish, but we were catching so much fish, we were just, when they were close to 12, we were just throwing them back. We were
Correct.
just trying to get more.
Right.
But as far as tournament fish,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have done very well in a tournament, would we?
No, they're definitely not competing fish. These are, eaters. They're yeah, speaking about tournaments, let's talk about what happened this past weekend. With the tournament that happened. We're not trying to take sides here. We've all heard the statement given from one side, and we'd like to hear a statement given from the other side. We've heard some things floating around, people saying things, and it's all kind of hearsay. And rather than hearing all the hearsay and all the talk, let's hear it straight from the horse's mouth. We got Trey Stouter with us today, and we're gonna hear his side.
All right. So, how long have you been fishing? Have you fished a lot of tournaments?
Yes, sir. Here in the 6 or 8 years, I've really got interested in the tournament fishing. Me and my family got to where we like to do it all as a family, and we even started our own little family tournament in August.
Are you more inshore or offshore? I mean, what do you like both, or What's your preference there?
I prefer the inshore fishing. I was kind of raised on some smaller boats and marsh grass and stuff, and that's what I learned how to do. So that's kind of what I fell more in love with. But I've done my fair share of offshore fishing too. But
Yeah, and that's kind of what we had a podcast that we put out not too long ago, and we talked about, our preference was mine and Chad's was definitely inshore fishing, and Drew's
Right.
was too.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get an offshore guy on here for long. We're gonna look like
like
we're totally against offshore fishing.
yeah,
We
but
are
we're not.
but
But yeah, we love to fish. What's your favorite inshore fishing that you like to do?
I prefer to catch red. I do have a flounder gigging boat.
Oh,
I've
you
been into that for a little while, but
yeah.
it'd be tough to do it because you get tired.
Well, my dad used to gig all the time, and I went with him. And Chad and I started doing a little bit of wading, because he has a boat, but we don't have it set up to flounder gig. But we've been doing a lot of wading here lately, and that tiring you out. That's definitely. I think we went the other night and we did a total of about 6 miles.
Correct.
We were wade gigging. I mean, where do you do a lot of your gigging? You don't have to give me a specific point.
I stay in the Alabama waters. I know people that do Mississippi. I pretty much stay in the marsh grass, and that's where I have my best luck with the gigging.
Yeah.
But that's just what I know. Like I said, I was raised in the marsh grass, so that's what I've learned how to do.
All right. So, but you say your favorite is redfish.
That's just something we've always loved to catch, and we started actually last year was our first year. You know, we all live right here on family property, all like a little community, all of us, and we got everybody. You know how families are. We all chit chat, talk a little smack and stuff. So last year we decided we was gonna do our own little family redfish tournament. My dad built us. He went down in the creek behind the property and got a little piece of cypress he found and put a redfish on it and plaqued it with a #1 best scouter fisher of the year. So
That's
awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Paul's been in bad health. Last year was actually he ain't gonna be able to fish it this year. He's got a little too bad of health. Last year I didn't plan on fishing it. I fished a lot of tournaments and stuff. So I was gonna be kind of the referee I was gonna kind of be over it for them and just let them and all the kids have fun.
Right.
The day before, Grandpa, and he's older and got one lung, and he's he can't really stay out in the heat and stuff. But all the chit chat and the smack talking and stuff, I guess, got to him, and he said, "If you feeling up for it, we'll fish it." First day till lunch, we kept a little secret under.
So you're not going to tell us that secret, though. Chad and I have been doing a lot of speck fishing lately, and we got Drew to finally take us on flounder fishing. But I think for the whole summer we've caught what? Now, as far as slot reds, we've only caught like what, maybe 2.
Yeah, 2 or 3. Not many.
What's your secret to actually catching reds? Because I need a little bit of that information where I can do a little bit better on it. I'm not having a problem with speckled trout, and now I don't have a problem with flounder thanks to Drew. But that red fishing, we kind of what's your secret there? You don't have to tell me a spot, but what's the best way to go about doing that?
Put it to you this way: if you got a cast net, and you know how to throw it. You don't have to go buy and throw. I don't like throwing lures, so I use my cast net.
Gotcha.
I can't tell you nothing else because then
So there's a particular live bait you like using. Let's leave it at that.
it's gonna be caught in the cast net. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna get anywhere in that out of
No.
I know where he's going.
But
I would tell y'all fellas if but I can't spill the beans to a whole.
Hey, I don't blame you. I don't
Yeah.
blame you.
But we at least know we need to get some live bait then, Chad.
Yeah.
We need because we're trying to do it with
Artificial.
plastic,
artificial, hard lures.
and it hadn't been working. Now the
Yeah.
speckled trout. That's another
We
story.
take y'all on a flounder trip. Maybe one day y'all can sneak down here and I'll show you how to catch some redfish.
Yeah.
Hey, we may have
Hey,
to take you up on that.
don't tempt us on that type of stuff now, because
I ain't scared now. I love fishing.
hey, so do we. I mean,
So Trey, when you're going to fish a tournament, what's your plan when you go fishing versus how you fish a tournament?
If I'm fishing a tournament, I'm gonna try for the redfish side because that's that's my roots, and I feel a lot more confident in it. Crazy look when it comes to speckled trout. So on these tournaments, I try to, if they got a jackpot or something, I try to do it. If I'm fishing, if I'm just going out to catch some meat fish, something to eat and have a fish fry that Sunday or whatever fish, that's what we're doing on Sunday evening. The difference between a tournament with regular fishing, I'm real competitive. So
Yeah, and that's why Drew said he doesn't enter
That's
the
why I
tournament.
do not. And I told him that earlier when we talked. I'm too competitive and I don't like losing. So, and if I'm not catching fish, I'm not having fun.
the losing part, but as long as I know that I tried and I've done everything the right way, I'm happy with what I've done.
Yeah.
I've definitely come close in a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, how do you specifically plan for, maybe you already told, you're not going to tell us what baits and tactics there, but what determines where you're going to fish? You don't have to give us specifics of, but what are you looking for, and what's going on in your mind when you're trying to, catch that redfish? Because you say you're going after redfish first. So if that's your plan, is that what you're saying?
My number one thing, no matter what, for both tournament and not tournament fishing, you're not going to catch fish if you don't have quality bait and any kind of live bait. If you're going to be fishing with cut bait, if you're going to artificial, if you got some of them scented gulps or something, and you leave them just sitting out in the sun, the lid open on them for a day or so, and they dry out. You're not gonna catch your quality fish with that.
Right.
If you want it to be fresh,
So is that why you like throwing a cast net yourself?
that's where you're going to catch your quality fish. Like I said, I don't win a lot of them. I just get real close a lot.
No, I mean I've gotten, I don't fish a whole lot with live bait, but I have fished with live shrimp before, and I can tell you I'm not going to name particular places, but certain bait shops have better, livelier shrimp than others.
Oh,
Correct.
definitely.
And you get some shrimp that are, look like they're on their last leg, and it's hard to catch anything but a saltwater catfish.
Right.
But I tell you this, Drew, you told us last time on the last episode that we noticed we had live shrimp and we were fishing for specks. And just like you said, that lower we were using that smaller shrimp.
Right.
We would catch
Bigger trout.
Bigger trout. We
Yeah.
went to that big shrimp, ladyfish.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time.
It's really weird. You just kind of got to figure out what they want that day.
Exactly.
Correct. Well, walk us through catching the fish that you caught this past weekend.
Like from the morning.
From the morning. What was going through your head when you caught that fish?
Well, what was going through my head when I caught that fish is, I've fished this tournament my entire life. I've paid a lot of time and a lot of money.
So are you fishing from a boat on that tournament, like your boat?
Bought a boat Monday. We had a boat before, and we got rid of it because we got all this property, so we needed a tractor to work it. So it was a 22-foot laser bay, So last year I didn't have a boat for really any tournament. So
Yeah. So you wanted to make sure this year you had a boat sufficient enough to get you.
well, I also have a wife and two little girls. I got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. 5-year-old she fishes tournaments just as much as I do. She's got her some little trophies and some fishing poles and stuff. And one of the main reasons I got this boat, not just because I like to fish, I love the kids being able to fish. Man, my 2 girls or anybody's kids for that matter, catching fish. You will not find a happier kid if you got them on a boat catching fish and
Sure.
they love every bit of it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Chad took his daughter. Chad and I went fishing. Yesterday?
Yesterday.
He took his daughter, and I'm old enough. Sorry about this, Trey, but I'm old enough. I got a granddaughter. So, but you don't have to call me sir. Don't call me sir again. But anyway, I know. Hey, I appreciate it. And we had, they were just head over heels to take a picture with it. And now my little granddaughter, she wanted to swim a lot, and I was like, no, we ain't gonna do that. We're fishing. But I'm gonna give you some advice because you said you got 2 girls, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I had 3 girls. All my girls grew up hunting and fishing. So I had a bass boat back then, and I used to take them on the river. We'd bass fish a lot, and we'd, put out limb lines. We'd put out noodles and do all that stuff, and they enjoyed the heck out of it. Deer hunting and all that. But I'm going to give you some advice, though. When they get older, I had to get rid of my boat. So don't when you got your boat, don't get rid of it because
I'm a try not to.
they started doing cheer, and granted now I got 3 of them, so they started doing cheer, and here's the worst part. Here lately, they all in the last 5 6 years, maybe a little bit more now. I'm trying to figure that out, but they all got married. If I'd have had a boat, a bit nice boat, I probably would have sold it a couple months ago to pay for this last wedding. Because I'm gonna go ahead and give you some advice. Save up because those weddings are gonna cost you some money. You got some girls, and start saving now. Put it away. Don't sell your boat though.
Before I bought this boat.
No, you got
No,
it. Don't,
keep the boat.
You
Keep the
got
boat.
it. Keep it. That's what I'm telling you. Keep it.
I done the exact opposite of saving money last week.
But hey, we know that because we went through all that.
You
All
thought that boat was going to win you some money.
I thought it was, yeah. Really, just more than anything, I was fishing that tournament. It's a good time. My family loves it. That's what they love to do. They love the atmosphere, the people. That's what we love to be around.
So when you caught this fish, what were you fishing for a trout or were you fishing at redfish for that at that point?
I fished Friday with some my buddies on my boat, and I tried to get to where we could fish, and y'all seen the weather Friday. It just wasn't happening.
Right.
So
We know a couple of guys that they went out Friday and just came back in, so they were just they were just trying to.
I couldn't fish all weekend this weekend because sometimes I get to fish a little too much, and we get a house every year for these tournaments and stuff. So I may have gotten my hand popped once or twice because somebody's houses I never show up to them because I'm on the water.
Yeah.
Now that I had my own boat, we was gonna take the girls out and they was gonna do their part and everybody was gonna enjoy the boat and all. So I had the girls and the family and all the friends and we all spent like a family day together. So then I planned to try again Sunday. So I woke up 5 o'clock Sunday morning, went and got me some bait. One buddy of mine went with me and we struck out. We only had like 3 or 4 dozen shrimp. And we just got lucky enough. The spot we stopped in, we was probably there an hour or two. Got into some decent trout. We caught a bunch of small ones we had to throw back. Before we left, when we caught that nice trout that everybody's been seeing pictures of, and it was one of them fish like, oh, this is it,
Right.
This is a perfect fish.
Right.
So it goes in the cooler. We fished a little bit more with the bait we had left over, and we eased back to the house because we had to check out of the house at 10. So we trailered back up. So we had about a 20-minute boat ride. So we trailered up, went to the house, unloaded, got everybody situated, finally get away from the house where everybody wants to go back on the boats and enjoy the day for one last day.
Yeah. What time did you initially try to get it weighed in?
Maybe 11:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from then until 2:30, 2:45 is when we tried to weigh in the second time. And we trailered up my part as close as I could get to the site there. Put him in my little Yeti bag and stuffed him in there, and I put my buddy Eric's fish in there. He was fishing with me, so we all had fish, and we was going to weigh in and do our thing. And me, my wife, my 2 girls walked. So we get there and we walk in. And
So let me stop you real quick. Had you already weighed the fish at this point?
yes, sir, I weighed it once.
And what did it weigh when you weighed it on the boat?
It weighed 3 pounds 90 ounces.
That's a big fish.
The biggest slot fish I've ever caught.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
I
Well,
always get the smaller ones.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, I know that. I know that feeling. Chad, we know that feeling too.
We do.
So here recently, we've been catching
This summer has been a great summer
this
for us for
summer
trout.
for trout.
This year, I don't know. I'm not real sure why, but they've been a lot of them.
Yeah, I think Chad and I just got lucky.
Sometimes luck it helps a little bit.
Oh yeah, hey, the luck has been fun. I can assure you that.
So sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead. I just was curious if you had weighed it on the boat.
We get there. I've never seen it like this, but there was no line to weigh the fish in. We walked straight to the weigh station there. We take the fish out of the cooler. Yeah, I was excited. I thought I had something. Take the fish, give them my ticket. Everything's all good. slide the fish down to the measuring stick. The fish gets thrown up there. It gets measured. Measure it. And they start looking at it. Somebody else is know who or what, but I wasn't really paying attention to all that stuff. Or he looks at me and says, I don't something's going on. I don't like it. Okay, and then he continues to mess with the tail, and he's looking at it, examining it and all, and rubbing all over it. And there's a little crowd around him looking at it, and they all go away, and he's still looking at it. He said, "All right, yep, can't accept it." He slides it to the next person, and the next person stabs it with a knife in the stomach. Well, they do that so you can't weigh them back in or try something else with the same fish or anything.
All right. So these fish don't have to be live then when you. Okay, gotcha.
When he stabs it with the knife and he goes to slide it down the table. So if you do these jackpots, they take the fish for research reasons. Nobody explained to me what was going on. Really, it was kind of just like a short, can't accept it. Who's next type deal. So I reach over there and I grab a fish and I slip it back. I was like, "Oh, well, what's going on? What's wrong with the fish? It's just something wrong with it. We just can't accept it. The tail feels funny. So what do y'all say? We just can't accept it." Okay. I said, now this is a $12,000 fish. Now, at the time, I would have had first place in this tournament. Everybody else is waiting. You know, I'm wanting a good explanation of what's the reason. What's wrong with this fish? But nobody can tell me the reason for the fish. So we get a little bit of an argument there. We're talking back and forth. I'm like, this is a $12,000 fish. I want a good explanation why y'all will not accept this fish. It was pretty much just take your fish and go. We don't have time. We're not taking it. Nobody ever told me it looks like you cut this tail or it looks like anything. They just said it's funny. It feels weird. No, nothing. It would not tell me. I fished a lot of tournaments like we talked about earlier. I knew what they was insinuating at. I've heard stories of people cutting tails and stuff like that. But not to mention that this fish was 21 and 3/4 inches long. So that's a quarter inch.
Right.
There's no need for me to trim this tail or anything of this nature to this tail. When I weighed him, when I measured him the first thing that morning, I was like, oh, he's good. Like I told Drew earlier, I've fished all these tournaments my whole life, and people tell you that if you take a fish and you put it in ice and you do not touch it, it will shrink. So if you got one that's close and you put him in a cold cooler, he will shrink. Drew can tell you, he's seen it firsthand. He runs tournaments too. Ain't nothing illegal about it. It's just what people do. They get them as cold as possible, and it shrinks it. It's not, you're not doing nothing to that fish but making it really cold.
Correct.
I take my fish, I put it back in the cooler. I'm frustrated, and I walk off. My mom and dad haven't weighed their fishing yet. I had it in my cooler. I set it down, and my dad's like, "What's going on?" I said, "They wouldn't accept my fish." He's like, "Well, why wouldn't they accept your fish? They never would give me a good reason." So he at this point, he gets aggravated. So he takes the fish and goes back up there. There's no line. He puts it down. He's like, all right, now somebody's got to tell me what's going on with this fish. Well, then the guy across from him, he's just like, well, you need to, what's wrong? And a couple of people come over and they're all looking and pointing and doing, and somebody's trying to figure something out. Well, then there's everybody's saying words, everybody's arguing, everybody's getting. It should have never happened. They should have just took the fish, got experts to look at it or something.
Right.
None of this never took place. It just turned into one big argument, like we was all in high school or something.
Yeah.
So at no point a biologist or anybody looked at that fish.
Well, like I said, it was a big ruckus. There was people coming behind us, people hollering, and there was people just cheating stuff. I mean, you know how people get at these places.
Right.
So we could never really argue our point, and they could really never argue their point.
So let me ask you this: during all of this, who has the fish? You have it. It's in your possession. Your dad. So your dad had the possession of the fish at this time.
He was not holding it. It was laying on the table, and
Right.
I'm prying at it. I said there was a lot going on.
Right.
I couldn't really tell you who touched it, who was touched. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, so finally they get somebody over there, a I don't know who he was or what. They got another set of eyes. So you got one judge that said he wasn't accepting. So then I guess they was rolling to the next judge. Well, they get it and they throw it up on the stick again, which is where this picture comes from that a tournament has. They take it and they put it back on the stick. And I'm standing there at this point. I'm watching. They set it on the stick. The guy that they went and got, I guess, is the other judge, is walking up. He's talking to people as he's walking up. He's seeing all the confrontations and stuff going on. Everybody hollering and stuff. So he's a little overwhelmed himself. He looks right over top of the guy's shoulder that just measured the fish again, reaches over with his phone, takes a picture, and goes, "Yep, we're not accepting it." And when I say that was the end of the conversation, there was not no more talking about this fish. The only thing they were saying is they had done called cops. The security that was there was told to get us out of there. And
Dang.
we was causing a scene. Which,
So the guy that came up to make the last decision, you said he came walking up, looked over the shoulder. Did he ever feel the fish or anything? He just looked at it and said no.
his hands on it.
Yeah.
I tried to keep up with my fish the whole time.
Right.
I'm trying to.
Dude, I can imagine it's probably all a blur to you though.
The line of work I'm in, I'm used to chaos, trying to just keep an eye on my fish. I don't
Right.
want somebody to kick it in the rocks and then just give them, another excuse. Or I don't want some random person to take it.
Right.
I'm trying to keep up with it. Well, when I seen them walk toward the edge, back toward the measuring stick, I walked with them. Like, okay, let's see what's going on. And like I said, it was put on there. Quick picture was took over a guy's arm, reached over a guy's arm, took a picture. That's all I kind of remember. And they slid the fish back. I grabbed it. Another time they had cops there, and the cops are cool.
Yeah.
Anybody knows these people.
They're just doing their job.
Tell them that they really did a great job. They never said anything crazy. They like, we understand completely what's going on. We don't see nothing wrong with the fish, but it's not our job to say this. It's our job because they asked for us to get y'all out here. They take me, my dad, my wife, and my two girls, and they escort us out. Now, in this meantime, when I say it, y'all been to tournaments. There's people everywhere, and everybody loves stuff like this to happen.
Oh yeah.
Hey Trey, let me see your fish. Trey, let me see your fish. There's people touching my fish. There's people looking at stuff. There's people wanting to talk about it. And at this point, I'm just embarrassed. I got my two little girls surrounded by people just running everywhere, chaos, and I'm just trying to get. Pretty much at this point, I'm trying to get my family out of there.
Right.
I finally get my family out of there. We get to where we can kind of just take a breath and like, what's going on? And then someone walks up and hollers, "Hey, what's y'all's names? What's y'all's names?" My dad told him his names, and he's like, "All right, you're disqualified this year and the next year." We get in the vehicle. I got two little girls. Like I said, it's hot. We're just trying to get them in the truck at this point because it's. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows it's hot. It's July, so
Yeah.
we're trying to get them in the truck, or we can get them in the air conditioning and finally go home because we've been going all weekend. We'll blow my phone up. This, hey, this happened to this guy. This is, this happened. This happened. Like it's, I'm kind of still overwhelmed at this point. I just want to get to the house. I fished all day Friday, done all the family things Saturday, fished Sunday, and did the family thing Sunday. And then all this happens for a weekend of that. You get tired.
Oh yeah.
I can vouch for getting tired. We've been fishing so much. We're like, hey man, I got to take a break from fishing a little bit.
I planned on taking a good calm evening, but my phone never stopped ringing. And on the way home, my wife, I want to make a post because it seems like this is happening to a lot of people, and we kind of need to get see what the people think about this and see where it goes. And I'm not like that. I don't do the Facebook post. I don't do stuff like that. Well, how women are. So she went ahead and did it anyway. As soon as we got home, she took the fish out of the cooler and put it on the table. We took pictures, and it was on after that. It was way more than I expected. I've never had no Facebook follower likes. I've never desired no TikTok fame or nothing.
Yeah, we leave that up to Drew.
Now I look at it, I think, that was a good thing that happened. And I've had several people call me the past few days. My phone ain't stopped ringing. Everybody's asking, like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? The guy who won the tournament, I know this guy know this guy, and I know the people around him, and he's a good guy. I'm not taking nothing from him. Even if my fish would have been weighed in, his fish was still bigger than mine. I may would have got second place, which is still money, but like I said, I'm not bashing anybody. I'm not hating anybody.
Right.
Them guys that won that tournament fished just as hard and spent just as much money as I did. And I ain't taking nothing from them.
Yeah.
I just wish that I just wanted my fish to be placed. I did not trim any tail. I actually, even when we was there, I asked for a polygraph. I was ignored because, like I said, it was hectic. I was trying to tell them, well, if y'all don't believe me, let me take a polygraph, but it done got too far.
Yeah. It sounded like a polygraph wouldn't even mattered in the situation because, from what I gathered, now this is just from what I gathered, they were, disqualifying the fish because of an unnatural tail. But my thing is like, I don't know, man. How does a man, decide whether it's natural or unnatural from what God made? Like God made that fish, and if that fish had a soft tail, like if that's what they're saying, like who's the judge whether that's natural or unnatural?
Right.
At this point, this is a $12,000 fish to me.
Right.
It's a lot of money for a 22-inch fish.
Heck yeah.
And that would really help with the food I just bought.
Yeah.
And the money I spent this weekend. It's just, that's the God's honest truth on it.
We appreciate you coming on here and telling your side of the story. Just hearing your side, all the other stuff that's out there, just to actually hear what you actually experienced.
I'm not mad at anybody for this. I'm not bashing anybody.
Right.
I just think there's certain things that can be done to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And I have nothing against them. I won't be fishing in it again. I just hope that it have to happen to anybody else.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, our main objective to this was, like we said, we're not taking sides. We're not trying to bash anybody. It was really just there was so much stuff floating around, and definitely a hot topic right now on social media. And rather than hear all the stuff floating around and believe this, believe that, we wanted to get your story straight from you, so everybody can listen and hear and hear it straight from you, rather than try to decide what they want to believe with what they're reading.
Right.
Yeah, all the different 500 different stories
Right.
on social media.
I've heard.
So there's pictures. I've seen pictures of stuff that ain't even remotely my fish. I think that I ain't seeing all of it, but I'm not like I said, I'm not like that. I made a Facebook post, text or Facebook poster or nothing. So I texted one up of a long post sitting on the couch at night because I feel like I needed it. I might have my wife proofread it for me because I sometimes
You need to get
Hey.
Chat GPT. That thing will set you up. Little AI stuff.
Make you sound way smarter than you are.
That's how we make ourselves smart.
I could tell when some of my buddies be using Chat GPT. I'm like, yeah, you're not that smart.
Yeah, you never hear them talk like that.
I do.
I don't think I could use it.
Hey, I do have a question. I do have one last question for you though, and this is not like, I'm just curious, man. Like we saw what the other side put out. They posted a picture, of the tail in question, but they only posted like a quarter of the picture of the tail. Why would they not show the whole thing? I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure, but I can't say that is my tail. That picture.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people questioning whether it's the same tail or not.
Man, that's what I'm saying. I've seen so many pictures, and we're all adults. We're not. Anybody listening to this podcast, anybody that's got the time to look up on and research on all this tournament stuff that happened. We've had social media, Facebook get. Everybody knows how big it is, and we all know that how quick stuff gets changed around.
Oh yeah.
You can't believe nothing you see on there. It's half of it just dumb, really.
That's why we call it fake book.
Fake book.
Yeah, well,
what they call them, keyboard warriors or something.
Yeah. Hide behind it a little bit. So, well, we appreciate it, and as we always say here on our podcast, if you're not in the woods or on the water, you don't know what you're missing.